I'm Gerrit, and I'm here to talk to you about our project HYPERViz, which is conducted by ScanWorld, a startup in satellite imagery based in Belgium, and Frédéric de Wilde, our great friend, the technologist at the end of arts and science. Very happy to have him on board. So what we do is all about satellite imagery. What you need to know about satellite imagery is that it's a booming market. There is plenty of it available, more than hundreds of terabytes every single day, and there is a great heterogeneity in the data. So we can get radar images, optical images, very high resolution, a bit of everything. It's honestly a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a chaos, plenty of data and plenty of things that you can do with if you can find your way through it. And what's even more is that there is one type of imagery that's becoming increasingly popular. It's hyperspectral imagery. Let me explain in a few words what it is about. In the human eye, you have three sensors, red, green, and blue. And that gives you information about the chemistry of what you're looking at. For example, if you see vegetation, it's green because there is a molecule in vegetation, chlorophyll, that is absorbing light in the green region of the spectrum. Hyperspectral data is the same idea, except you don't have three sensors, you have 200 of them. And that means that the density of information is much, much bigger, but also that you have access to regions of the spectrum that contains other information that are not visible with the naked eye, about other chemical compounds, etc., etc. So the idea is, okay, you have this big data cube, these images that contain a lot of information about the chemistry. You can extract that information to get insights. Plenty of insights that are feasible. Three that we chose to talk about today. One is soil carbon. So that is actually to know the content of organic carbon that is in the soil, which is critical for carbon farming, which is a key tool to fight climate change. A second one is ocean plastic. Plastic has nothing to do in the ocean, and it's quite easy to see because it's a very different chemical composition from water. So the contrast, the chemical contrast with the ocean is very big. And on a hyperspectral image, you can see it very clearly. And the last one is the footprint of industrial activities. Again, if you see a random image of a power plant or a manufacturing plant, you will not especially directly see the pollutant that they are emitting or the impact they have on biodiversity. If you have a hyperspectral image, it will be clearly visible and you will be immediately able to see, okay, that power plant is polluting a lot and it's not normal. So that's fantastic, right? The little issue is that it's not very intuitive to grasp. As I mentioned, hyperspectral imagery is 200 sensors. Classical imagery from our eyes is only 3 sensors. So it would be like trying to understand a hyperspectral image directly would be like trying to get the sense of touch of a centipede with only our 3 fingers or 10 fingers. So quite complex to do, of course. What do we want to do? We want to improve the accessibility to that very complex data. But we don't want to simplify the data. That's not the idea at all. We want to embrace the complexity of the data, but we want to make it transparent and educational. And we see that with 2 different products that will come out of this project. One is actually an interface that is more directed for specialists, so experts and scientists, etc., people who know what they are looking for in hyperspectral images. That's one. And the second one is a more immersive user experience for really any citizen that is interested to know, okay, what is the footprint of what is the environmental footprint of the manufacturing plant next to my house, right? The first one will be a little bit more the focus of ScanWorld, and the second one a little bit more the focus of Frédéric, although we will be working together because at the end of the day, we see these two as 2 sides of the same coin to be developed hand in hand, of course. How does it work? Next month, after we finish this pitch, we can go through the next step, hopefully. In May, we will be working on actually looking a little bit at the state of the art, what has been done by other people, also in other sectors, simply how do people represent multi-dimensional arrays of data. We already have plenty of ideas. Frédéric has already been using hyperspectral data, so we already have some ideas about what we could do. In June, we get our hands dirty, we start coding, and then until August, we will iterate a couple of times. Business model, we occupy actually a niche in the value chain that no one has been really looking at up to now. So there is plenty of satellite imagery and plenty of hyperspectral imagery in particular that is coming from commercial players, many logos that you see here, but also from the European Commission, from the satellites of the Copernicus program, satellites that you are paying for with your taxes. So it would only be normal that you get to understand what it is that you pay for, right? All of these people are focused on gathering data and not as much on making the data accessible to anyone. So we will have this product for citizens, private citizens, that will be, in our vision, completely free, because we think it's important to educate the citizen and give them access to whatever it is that they have paid for. But then we will have the more complex products for experts and scientists. And so here we talk about academia, but also big organizations like the FAO, regional governments, and also, why not, commercial companies. And this one, the model we have in mind is pay-per-use. Very happy to tell you a little bit more about it if we have time, but that's the business model in short. To execute that, fantastic team, quite a few people.
You are more than 1 minute over the time. So.
Okay, I'm done. That's the team. It's us.